It's loading. I think we're live. Okay, cool. Perfect. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Chit Chat Geek Out. I'm your host, Steven. And today on the show, we have a really cool horror YouTuber. One of my favorites I've been watching for a long time. And his name is Christian Hanna Horror. Everybody, please welcome Christian to the show. How are you, dude?
Hey, how you doing? I'm fabulous. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you too, because you reached out to me through social media on Instagram, and ever since that we kind of just kept in touch. So happy to have you on the show today. It was fun.
Absolutely. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. And everybody that has not yet checked out Christian Hanna Horror, make sure you go check him out. All the links are down in the description below. You guys can go follow him on his YouTube, go subscribe to his channel, follow him on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even buy some of his merch from his Teespring website. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started with this interview. And if anybody in the chat, we have 5 people watching right now. What is up, guys? If you guys have any questions for Christian, just let me know. And dude, so for the first question I have for you, Christian, what made you, because you've been around on YouTube for a while, you have a good fan base. What kind of made you want to start your YouTube channel and post horror related content?
Oh man, it's been a I hate to admit how long YouTube. I think the guy that really made me get into it was Piz Owl.
Yes.
He's been a genuine friend to me. Just what I like about Piz Owl is I think he's got over 30,000 subs, which in the grand scheme of things is a drop in the bucket. But he's always just stayed the same with me. He never just gets like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you, Christian. You don't have X amount of subs or whatever. He's
Right.
always been a friend to me. But I like Pizzo. He was a guy that I was like, hey, this guy, I am this guy. I'm just in a different place. Why can't I do this too? Because it just seems fun.
Right.
And living where I live, horror fans, and it's probably like this. I'm sure people feel like this a lot over states or even where you're at, Canada. You feel, I don't want to say alienated, but I don't know many people that are into horror movies like I am. I have a couple friends that I have now that have done videos with me, but for the longest time it was just me, and I was like, well, this is a way to connect. Whether it's negative people saying I review a movie and it's this movie sucks, or
Yeah.
I have the friendships I've made over the years through YouTube or last a lifetime. They truly have. But yeah, it was just probably Pizzle and guys like B Movie Mike and somebody's that I watched that I haven't seen them on. They just delete their channels and stuff. I haven't heard or talked from them. But if I had to give the credit to one guy, I'd say it was Pizzle. So.
Nice. Good pick. Yeah, I was actually just watching his most recent video today of some with Jeremy. They're like shopping. It was for his birthday.
Right.
Yeah, I just watched that one today. Yeah, he's awesome. He's a great YouTuber. Great pick. Hey everybody in the chat, what's up? Hey Mr. Meat Hook, Michael Long, Peanut Butter 524, Stevie J Movie Reviews, Phil's Creepy Videos. How are you guys?
I watch Phil's creepy vids. I don't know if Phil's creepy vids knows who I am, but I think he's pretty funny. I
Yeah.
love his pros.
Yeah, he's great. I was just talking to him today on Facebook. He's awesome. He's local too. He lives like 2 hours away from me. So I haven't met him. I still have to meet him, but no, me and him are really great friends. He's a great guy.
Excellent.
When I know you might get asked this question a lot, but like when you decide to do YouTube, obviously it's all horror based. What got you into the horror genre? What made you fall in love with it?
That's a good question. It's funny. I'd like to give you the stereotypical answer. Oh, I just grew up and I watched a horror movie and I got hooked with it. The truth is, when I was growing up, I was just your typical kid. I grew up. My formative years were probably about 99 through about 2007, 8, when I was really becoming, I guess, a man. Put that word in quotation. I was just a typical kid. I would watch if a big horror movie came to the theaters. Like I can remember going to see Halloween, the remake, Rob Zombies, and that came out. But I was never hardcore. And obviously, growing up young, I would watch, A Child's Play or Jeepers Creepers. I saw that because that was massive when it came out. I remember when Jeepers Creepers,
yeah, of course,
took over the world. I remember it haunted my dreams for weeks. But probably at my senior year of high school, I just remember I went to Spirit Halloween, and I was going to be going to some party, and I was just having a blast in there. And I was like, look at all this cool stuff, this Freddy stuff, this Michael. And I had never really watched a Freddy movie, honestly, until about when I was about 17. Freddy was just somebody everybody knew. You knew him as he was as famous as George Washington or whoever. He was that kind of famous, the character. And I was like, well, let me watch one of these because it was Halloween time. I was like, I'm gonna watch one of these Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And my mom used to work right next to a Blockbuster.
Oh, wow.
I would tell my mom I was going to school my senior year. I'll never forget it. The first movie that I watched when I officially what I considered to become a horror fanatic. It was late September, about to be October. I'm in the Halloween spirit. I'm ready. And I say, Mom, can you stop by Blockbuster on your way out of work? And can you pick me up a Nightmare on Elm Street? She goes, yeah. You want to watch those? Those are good. You ought to see them. So she comes home and she says, hey, they didn't have the first one, but I got you part 2. I don't know if it's going to mess you up or not. I was like, whatever. I just want to watch it. And Freddy's still scared the hell out of me. Now, I obviously I'm in love. That's one of my favorite movies ever. But I watched that movie and I was like, this is freaking amazing because I had so low expectations for it being, like when you're somebody that just watches new movies, like a lot of people do, you're not hardcore into things like that. And you just kind of watch typical stuff that comes out and you go to watch something old. You figure, this is going to be terrible. But I was like, this is what is this world right here? And I got hooked. And from then on, I rented I probably gave Blockbuster hundreds of dollars within months just renting all these movies, and then subsequently started buying movies, and I was all about media.
Right.
I don't want to jump the gun, but to just kind of keep this train of thought I got, I started collecting just horror movies for probably a year and a half.
Wow.
And I met my now wife. We started dating, and she sees my room. I was still living with my parents at the time, and she sees my room, and she goes, well, somebody likes horror movies. And this was right at the time I got obsessed with Halloween 3. I just fell in love with this weird little movie. Now it's cool to like Halloween 3. Back then, it wasn't. I say
No.
back then. This was probably 2011.
Right.
It just wasn't cool Halloween 3 yet. But I remember she watched the movie with me. She bought me from this website that's no longer available called Silver Champagne Novelty. Sean Clark, who does Horror Rounds on a bunch of Blu-rays, he makes these masks, or he was affiliated with it. And she bought me for my birthday the skeleton from Halloween 3. And from that point on, that was the trick for my horror room. I got obsessed with memorabilia and collectibles and all that. So
Wow.
to answer your question, I'm sorry. Basically, my senior year of high school, when I read that Freddy's Revenge, that was from that day forward, I haven't not thought about a horror movie, legitimately. So,
Wow.
I think that's the question.
Is Freddy's Revenge your favorite from the franchise?
Oh, absolutely. I have my. Hopefully, this doesn't get too jittery. I got my lovely Freddy's Revenge bust right there. I'm just obsessed with the movie. I'm obsessed with the character of Jesse. Love it, and it's sentimental because it was my first Nightmare movie I ever watched. I watched that before the remake. I didn't see the remake in theaters. I could have.
Yeah, I think it's like out of like when people watch like franchise movies, if like say like Al from Al's Horror Shop, part 5 of Friday the 13th is his favorite. And that movie gets a lot of hate. But for some when you watch these movies for the first time, it holds a special place in your heart.
Absolutely.
And it becomes your favorite. And I think that's so fascinating because even Friday Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 I think it's very underrated. I actually really enjoy that movie.
Yeah, and whenever I talk about it, especially on YouTube, because I try to always explain myself very well when I talk about a movie, because so many people are it's toxic. I'm very blessed. A lot of the people that comment on my videos, or the core group of people that do comment on my videos, they've gotten to know me, so it's like they're not so quick to just berate me if I say I like a movie that they don't like. They usually give it, which is a blessing, because a lot of YouTubers they don't have that. But whenever I say like I love Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 is the best, like my number one nightmare film, I always say, look, I'm not saying it's a great film. Let's be honest. There's a bunch of flaws in it. There's scenes where you can almost see a boom mic in a shot, or they clearly reuse the scene where Grady and Jesse are push-up stand throughout the second half of the movie. Like, it's not a perfect film, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be. It's what it does to you. It's like listening to a song. If you don't like a NSYNC song, and I do, that doesn't mean the song's bad. I mean, because if it works for me, then the band did their job. So that's the kind of stuff I try to explain in videos, and people are starting to come around to that type of thinking instead of just Nightmare Part 2 sucks, worst of the franchise. It's like, you can think that, but come on, lighten up a little bit. So.
Yeah. No, exactly. What I always say is, as long as I have fun, it's a good movie.
Amen. That's the point of it.
Yeah. And shout out, they actually just came out with the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 documentary. I think it's called Scream Queen.
Yeah, I need to see that. I know.
Yeah, I think it's just starting. Like, I think like maybe like a month ago, it started premiering at film festivals. So I don't know if it's available yet on Blu-ray. I have to double check. It was kind of a surprise to me. Like, I've seen it floating around the internet for a while, and
Me
then
too.
once I saw Mark Patton post about it in the premiere, that was awesome. I gotta check this movie out. I love documentaries like that, especially Never Sleep Again was amazing. I love
Oh God.
watching all these documentaries, behind the scenes stories. I think it's great.
Right.
Let's see. I'm just gonna look at the chat again. We have more people watching. Give a shout out to some people that just tuned in. We have Darkest Before Dawn podcast. What is up? 3B Production Co.
It came out.
Yeah. Jeff. Jeff, you're the one that I remember you entered my contest. I'm afraid of butchering your last name, so I'm not gonna try. But I label you as Jeff, so I know it's you. So what is up, Jeff? Um, Michael Villegas, Queen Cujo. I just watched your live stream a little bit ago. What is up, guys? Hey, Artie Zombie, how's it going? What's up, guys? Let me see if you guys ask any questions here. Let me just double check.
Yeah. Why do you have? Yeah.
What?
They probably got the same on your show.
Oh. Let's see here. Phil's creepy videos. He says, not including autographs. What's your favorite piece in your collection?
Oh, that's an easy one because autographs really, I have them, but mostly the meeting up with the people. That favorite piece of my collection. That's really hard because it's kind of saying, going back to the story about Nightmare Part 2, what it does for me, the movie. Every piece in here, and you're the same way. That poster we were talking about before the video, you got a story with that.
Yeah.
My life-size killer clown, that's got a story. My Child's Play Chucky doll, custom Chucky doll, that's a story. One of the most it pains me to look at the piece. I have a Big Ben bust that I got from a guy named Sam McCain. He had a site called Horror Sanctum Studios, and I ordered this Big Ben bust from him. And this guy worked on films and stuff in the 80s and 90s. I think he was actually affiliated with the movie House itself in a small way. And he died. He got in a bike accident probably a week after he shipped it to me. So every time I look at it, it makes me think of him. It breaks my heart. Just a gem of a human being. He had a lovely kids. This was a guy in the middle of his life, raising kids and everything, and he dies in this tragic accident. So it's sad that the skeleton, my Halloween 3 skeleton. That when I look at that, that's like the founder of the horror room, because once I got that, I got hooked and got a bunch of other horror stuff. If I just pick if I had to pick a favorite, though, God, that's tough.
Yeah, like what's one piece you would grab if your house was on fire?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna think about. Honestly, if my house was on fire and I had to grab something,
it's hard. It's a hard question.
Because I think to myself, well, Christian, how much did you pay for that? How much did you pay for that? But based on this conversation right now, I'd probably take my Freddy's Revenge bust, because when I look at it, I just think about that time in my life where so probably my friend, but I'd probably kick myself in the butt if I didn't take that Chucky doll, because you can't. That was a guy in the United Kingdom made that for me, so it's not like I can just say, hey, whip me another one up, so.
Yeah, of course.
But I really think I'd probably end up taking the Freddy's Revenge bust. I think I would.
Good pick. And yeah, your collection's insane. You have so much cool stuff, and I've watched your collection video a long time ago when that got posted. And yeah, I love it. I love watching people's collection videos, and I still got to do one. But
Me,
yeah, you have a great collection.
because it shows your personality. It shows your tastes, and in movies. So it's always interesting to look at. I love looking at horror collection videos. I really, if I ever move, I want to go from the big cluttered look that I have. It's kind of museum like, not like it's that good, but I mean, but like it's an organized mess. It's packed in here, but it's very neat and clean. You can feel comfortable in here. You're not claustrophobic. But I love these videos of guys who have these collections that it's just everything is just so perfectly symmetrically spaced out. They
Yeah.
have, the chair, one poster right here. It's like one poster over here, and it's just one film, and then they'll have like the glass IKEA shelf with nice masks in it. Like I would love to do that one day, but I don't know. This house is going to take me a long time to pay off, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, it's another story.
I'm happy with my horror room now.
Awesome, very cool. Let's see here. Just looking in the questions in the chat. RD Zombie says my favorite Halloween is Season of the Witch. That's a lot of people's favorite. What's she say? Phil. Oh my gosh, Phil, you're funny. Yeah, I'm just reading. Let's see. Let's see. If you guys have any questions for Christian, let me know. RD Zombie, he also says your blue jean jacket is sick, and it is. I really like it a lot. I've seen pictures posted on Instagram. I think it looks great.
Thank you. Anybody can do this. All you got to do is, I say now, I went to Target probably a month or so ago, and this is Goodfellow brand, $40 denim jacket, very comfortable, and just order patches on Etsy or online, and then just and I'm gonna deck it out. At first, I was gonna horror and heavy metal jacket, and I was like, nah, Christian, just do horror. Another jacket to do heavy metal. So
Yeah.
Got some plans for this jacket. I'm ready to deck it out. So, but the trick, get a thin denim. Don't get the thick, stiff. You gotta get a thin, comfortable denim because then because the patches are naturally going to stiffen it up a little bit. So you want it to be as breathable and as light as possible. So
right. And for the longest time, I was looking into vests, but I do like the jean jackets. I think they look really cool.
Yeah, vests are good too.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah. Phil, he's like, let's just not talk about house fires, lol, and 3B production codes like or floods. Feels like it's just like we're having like I know Michael Long, there was a tornado near him recently too, and I'm so glad that he's safe.
It's crazy. The weather everywhere has just been nuts. For to this amount, it's troubling to me. It's scary.
Yeah, it is very scary. Now you said, I think you should pretty much already. This is just when I look at my list. You pretty much said, is Nightmare on Elm Street 2 your favorite movie? Favorite horror movie? No.
No.
What's your favorite horror movie?
Right there.
Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, and I say that it's funny, man, because to say you have a favorite horror movie could honestly be something that changes once.
I was just about to say that. Like, you can have a new favorite horror movie like every day. It just depends.
But in the amount of movies I've watched, if I had to desert island movie, if you will, Return of the Living Dead is it's me in a movie. It's my personality. It's my silliness. It's me in a movie, if you will. And that's just the movie. God, man, I can watch it every day and not want to blow my brains out. It's just a perfect movie. It's so stupidly awesome. Excuse me, it's not stupid at all because I actually think it's a well-made film. Yeah. I don't know. I can't really put it into words, and I think that's okay. You don't need to be able to have to put it into words every time. I absolutely love it from the start, the music, the characters, the look, everything. I wouldn't change not one iota about that movie. But I love all three of them. As you can see, I got part 3 back there.
Right.
Just a great franchise.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's favorite. It's just a fun movie, and the soundtrack is brilliant. I know. I just had Linnea Quigley on the show last week, and yeah, she has great stories. And we're talking
My
about.
she's such a sweetheart.
She's such a sweetheart. I met her last year, November, at Horama in Toronto, and yeah,
right.
she's such a sweet person.
Yeah, and that's good, man. Quick off-topic thing I want to add, but it's funny because and I'm sure if Roger, I'll shout out to my buddy Roger. I'm sure if he's watching, he's a fan of these. Somebody was telling me, "Hey Christian, can you review Sleepaway Camp movies?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I love those movies. I love 2 and 3. I'm the kind of guy that appreciates 2 and 3 a little bit more than 1."
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, nothing's wrong with 1. I just really like the late. I'm a big late '80s guy.
Of
That's my
course.
vibe. Very late '80s. But it breaks my heart that Pamela Springsteen just disowns these movies. I mean, she just will not talk about them. She won't do interviews about them. And
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, Pamela, like lighten up. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure your brother Bruce Springsteen is saying, go talk about these movies. She could. I'm telling you, dude. Listen to me. This convention game. It's all about being not necessarily just wanted, but being needed. You got to hold out. It's very unfortunate you go to these conventions. I'm sure you talk like you go to conventions.
Oh, of course.
You see these awesome people that from these movies that you love, but they do every convention. They do every single one, and then your heart's broken when you see rest his soul. I saw Ted White, not Ted White, Steve Dash, Friday the 13th Part 2. You could tell he does every single convention every time because at Texas Frightmare, there was nobody in line. And this was on Saturday. So it's like, you haven't even had, this was like a fresh day. And you could tell these guys do this stuff so much. Rest his soul.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is Pamela Springsteen, if she did a convention, it would be gangbusters. The Sleepaway Camp fanatics she could charge $100 if she wanted to. Not that I would want her to do that because that's ridiculous. Never. I'm looking at you, but yeah, she could kill at a convention. Think about
of
it.
course.
You remember when Jamie Lee Curtis did that one in 2000?
Yeah, she did one. She did one. I'm like, I wish I knew about it because before I just recently, within like the last year, I've been starting to get like autograph consignment companies to get some autographs for me. If I knew about all these companies earlier, I would have back in the day. If I knew about Jamie Lee Curtis being at that one con that she's ever been to, that's it. I think she even said that's the first and the only con she'll ever attend.
Yeah.
I think it was like the Halloween 25 years. I think. But yeah.
It was the 35th anniversary Blu-ray. They did the special about that, and people can say what they want about Jamie Lee. Not that I'm not necessarily talking about Halloween fans because I think honestly Halloween fans all really love her. She's very open politically online, and some people. I'm from the South, so a lot of Southern people don't agree with the way she is. She's very, all that stuff, but I always say whenever she gets brought up in a negative light, or like you guys have no idea how sweet of a woman that is. She did that convention and donated 100% of everything she made.
Yes. I was just about to mention that.
God bless that woman. I wish I could be a shred as good as she is. So
yeah, no, you make a good point there because I was just about to bring that up because she I think it's LA Children's Hospital, I believe so. And and she's so committed to that charity. She's still committed to that charity. And yeah, that event went 100% profit towards there. And I think that's great because most times at these cons, that's kind of like their living. That's what they live off of. I mean, like Jamie Lee Curtis, she didn't really need the money. That's probably why she doesn't do these shows. But I think it's great when celebrities like this that make this rare appearance, they don't keep the money. They give it towards a charity of their choice. I think, to be honest, I think most fans that go to visit these cons will feel, what should I say? I think people would feel a bit more comfort that all their money's going to charity. If that makes sense. Because at least you're helping people out. I think if more people did that, I think more of these cons. I mean, I'm not saying that a lot of these cons aren't successful. I mean, cons are packed with people. I'm just seeing people there will probably like the idea that the profits are all going towards a charity.
And I okay that it's a two-sided coin with that too, because Jamie Lee knows I've never done this. People are gonna want to have a picture with me, not necessarily just a picture of me, but a picture in the lore of a Halloween event, because that's totally different than seeing Jamie Lee on the street and just say, "Hey, Jamie, I'm a big fan," getting a picture with her. Although that'd be cool, but so she knew that everybody was gonna come, and she probably charged a pretty good penny per. If you got a photo op with Jamie, it was probably at least $100, and that's because it's all going to charity. I'd be like, I would have no issue
Of
paying any of
course.
that. I think she's great. And I can't wait for the new Halloween. I'm sure you saw the
Yeah,
Blumhouse.
I saw the post. She was with Jason Blum today, so that's pretty exciting. And she got her figure. She
So
posted a figure with a NECA figure today.
her and the Halloween.
Oh yeah,
Good day.
hell yeah. Let's see. We got some more questions here in the chat. I'll look here. Let's see. I just saw them. Oh, okay. Count Von Strange, what's up, dude? He said,
That's a good guy, right?
what's your favorite creature / monster movie?
Oh Lord. Creature / monster. I'm gonna assume that means like a bigger type. I tell you what, I love Pumpkinhead. I love The Howling. The Howling's one of my favorite movies.
That's good.
I'll just stick with that because I'll be here for 30 minutes without saying anything. It's hard because I just love movies. I have like a favorite movie like Return of the Living Dead. I just love everything else. But yeah, Howling's great. Howling is fantastic. My wife is I'm a big Howling fan. So it's Yankees and Red Sox. All we do is argue about which one is better, even though you really shouldn't compare them because they're not the same type of movie.
Right. That's a good pick. Let's see. Someone else, Artie Zombie. He says, "Are you guys fans of the Wrong Turn series?" I like it. I've actually only seen the first one. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I have the set. I think there's like five or four. Yeah, 4 or 5 of them. I have the set. I gotta watch the rest, but I like it. I don't know. Besides that, I mean, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, I've seen maybe the first one was great. I remember that was the first time I heard Benjamin at the end of the movie, and the second one is so absolutely incredibly awesome because I'm a big Henry Rollins fan. I'm a fan of the Rollins. I'm a punk rocker. That's what I am. So I'm a big Rollins fan. I don't know if you know who that is, and he is absolutely just hilarious in part two. I won't say some of the funny lines because I don't. But if you ever get the chance to, dude, part two will make you laugh in the best way possible. Just a funny movie.
All right, cool. I gotta check it out. I scored the set at Walmart. I think for like $10. So like, okay, I gotta watch these all. Is there 4 of them or 5 of them?
I think there's 5, and I think they're making another one.
Oh my god, I have to check it out. Let's see. 3-Week Production Co. says, I love the Wrong Turn movies, even if the quality gets a little lower. Each entry, they're still fun. Let's see. Jeff says PJ Souls is super cool. Last year's Day of the Dead indie. Yeah, I still yet have to meet her. But I do have her autograph, but I have never heard anything bad about her, and I would love to have her on the show. I think she's really cool.
Yeah, she looks sweetheart too.
Yeah. Jeff says guilty pleasure, Wrong Turn, and Resident Evil.
Oh, I can see that. I don't see it. I Resident Evil. It's funny when it makes me feel weird when somebody was like, "Oh yeah, it's a great guilty pleasure." Like, really? I thought it was like, I think it's a good movie.
What's some of your guilty pleasures? What's your favorite guilty pleasure movie?
See, that's funny. I don't know. Like, I don't want to sound cool, like because it's like I don't like to think I'd ever be embarrassed about like telling somebody I like this movie. I would put it in a certain hey, if you got to be into this kind of thing to like this, but to play along because I don't want to seem just like a jerk. I guess some of my guilty pleasures is like I love the Psycho remake because it was my first Psycho movie. I just
Really?
never watched. I'm not a big black and white guy.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to get into the 70s now, like really. And the older I get, the older the music is listened to, the older the movies I watch. But I love the Psycho remake. I guess you could call that a guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
I love.
that's definitely a guilty pleasure because I don't even a lot of people hate that movie. I can't I don't know. When I watched it, just from the cast, I thought it was gonna be a lot better. I mean, you had like three big names in that movie. What was it? Julian Moore, Vince Vaughn, and
The guy that guy I know you're talking about, the guy you're about to say, but I can't remember his name.
yeah, he's in all comedy movies. But yeah, I was like when I watched this because I'm such a big fan of the original, and I think I watched the original when I was like in like probably grade 8. I don't remember how old I was, but I just remember I went on a trip to Ottawa with my grade 8 class, and we went to Chapters, like this. It's Chapters slash Indigo. It's a bookstore here in Canada. And I remember I
Yeah,
saw the movie there, Psycho. I'm like, okay, you know what? I gotta check this out. I keep seeing pictures of this online. I'm like, okay, I gotta check this out. And it's one of my favorites. And I love Bates Motel, the TV show with Vera Farmiga and Freddie Highmore. I thought that was fantastic. But when I
bad.
watched this Psycho remake, I'm like, it's literally a shot by shot remake. I mean, they didn't really do anything special to it. I would rather watch the original over the remake any day. I'd probably never watch the remake again. I was just disappointed with it.
Yeah, and it's funny, and I that mindset. I guess for me, what happened was I had nothing to compare it to, so I just watched Psycho '98 was my Psycho because I never, watched the original. So I don't know. I dig it. I just dig it. I like Vince Vaughn. I think that I thought he was good. I mean, I'm not gonna say he was great, but I don't know. He was creepy. Like I wouldn't want to talk to that Vince Vaughn, in real life. Strange. And like movies like Basket Case, I'm a big Henenlotter fan, but most Basket Case fans would never say that Basket Case is a guilty pleasure because they proudly, wave the Basket Case,
Yeah.
which I do. But movies like that, yeah, I love, I guess what you call cheese, or I get into some of those movies, but my tastes are very. I don't want to say specific. I will either highly enjoy it or enjoy it at all. I don't want to say hate. I don't like using the word hate like I hate a movie, but a movie like Microwave Massacre, absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved how ridiculous it was. But then I watched Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. I enjoyed that. I say that. I absolutely adored Frankenhooker. I just thought that was just it was kind of cute almost. I don't know. I just I thought it was nice.
Yeah,
So
I thought it's a fun movie. It's cheesy. I do like the cheesy movies. I think that's kind of like a guilty pleasure because but
there's it's like you watch a movie like Tales from the Hood. I preach about that movie to people. Like I was like, I know I'm a white guy. I'm a white kid when I see this at Blockbuster. So I wasn't like, oh, let me rent this. But I'm telling you guys, it's pure '80s blockbuster horror. It's video store horror. Try it. And then I had a buddy who watched it, Baldy Jack, who's another YouTuber, very good friend of mine, and he was like, "Damn it, man, you were right. That really was good." So stuff like that, like movies like that, I really dig them. I really dig movies like that. Love Tales from the Hood.
yeah,
Did not.
it's a cheese that makes them fun, and it's not like necessarily scary. It's funny. It's a fun time. It's like, what the hell am I watching? This is nuts.
Exactly. So there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I love 80s cheese. And shout out to Patty Mullen. I had her. She was on the show. I want to say like I don't know, maybe I don't remember how long. Maybe a few months ago, 3 4 months ago. And she's such a sweet lady. And she played Frankenhooker, of course. And that movie is hilarious. I love that movie.
I must have missed that one. I gotta go because I was backlogging some of your episodes. I guess I just didn't pay attention to that one, or I scrolled past it. I gotta go watch
Yeah,
that.
it was a while ago. Let me check when it was. And
That's a
she doesn't do podcasts often, so I was really fortunate to have her on.
wow.
Um, yeah, she was on 4 months ago.
Yeah, I got something to listen to tomorrow then.
Of course, yeah.
Excellent.
She's great, and it was funny because when I was doing the interview with her, we're actually on a video call on Facebook, and she was so funny. She was great.
Excellent.
Um, let's see. Cinema of the Dead says Hocus Pocus and Casper is the type of thing I consider a quality pleasure. Uh, um, a quilty. Wait, yeah, so like watching them at Halloween time. I don't think Hocus Pocus and Casper are. guilty pleasure movies because they're really popular, especially for kids. Like my sister grew up on Casper; she loved that movie. And Hocus Pocus was a Disney movie that came out like on the kids channel. I don't think those are really considered guilty pleasures. That's just my opinion because these movies when they came out were mainly for kids, but then adults started, enjoying them because they're good movies, they're fun, but they're kids movies. So yeah, I like them.
That's exactly my point. And point that it's funny. Like it's funny that something can be a guilty pleasure to them, but then it's like really, like damn, I feel weird because I just think it's an awesome movie. It's
Yeah,
just it's interesting how different.
yeah,
Not knocking. I'm sure I could probably say, I have a guilty pleasure, and you'd be like, that's a good movie. I think because these movies are getting older, anything that's not just full of CGI now just seems hokey,
of
because that's
course.
what we live in. So
Yeah, almost definitely. A lot of these movies too, you end up growing up with them. Like, I mean, say for example, as I just said, like Casper, my sister grew up with that movie, then I watched it. Hocus Pocus, what year that come out in? Let me see. I know it was 90s. And they're both Disney, like Haunted Mansion, 93, so that was before I was born. And then Casper was let me see here. Casper was 95. So yeah, these were movies that these are both movies that my sister grew up with, and I ended up watching because I was born in 98. So I didn't grow up watching these, but from generations, it's pretty cool because these movies are always constantly on repeat. Especially now, I don't watch the Family Channel, but if I'm scrolling through the guide, you end up seeing these movies on replay all the time. Like you have Casper, Hocus Pocus, Haunted Mansion, Halloween Town. They're always replaying them on like the Disney Channel all the time. And I think it's great that even though these movies came out like in the 90s, that all these new generations of people are getting to see these classic movies. And yeah, of course, they're kids' movies, but they're Disney movies, and Disney never really disappoint, and they're great, like fun family movies to watch. Not necessarily horror, not really scary, but they're great.
yep, it don't matter. It don't matter what generation. I think it's just movies like that will resonate. I think that was, man. You got when you think about it, time will tell. But I think that was probably, especially up until about maybe the Scream era, a little bit past the Scream era. I don't know because I'm not a filmmaker or nothing like that. But I think that was probably just the most purest form of filmmaking because every up until that point, everything essentially had to be done and created by human hands and acted out on a set. Everything was just so pure. So I think that that can't be replicated ever. It's just kind of like it's like 80s music in a sense. You can't ever replicate Tears for Fears because that's a product of the technology at the
Love
time.
Tears for
The
Fears.
don't get me started. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Uh, every you can't replicate a pure time like that. You can get close, but that's what
Yeah,
I'm getting at. I think that stuff will resonate. There's a reason there's 80s channels on Sirius XM, like 80s on. There's a reason it's always around because there's always a want and a need for it. So
yeah.
I think films like that.
I mainly listen to 80s music, to be honest. 80s and 90s are the two eras of music I mainly listen to, and
Me,
I love it.
me.
It'll never die, I don't think. Hey, Cadaver Club, what's up, dude? How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Um, let's see here. One of my other questions was, what's some of your favorite subgenres of horror? Slashers, zombies, paranormal?
It's funny. Sound crazy. I'll start with this in multiple videos. I'm not a huge zombie movie fan. The movie itself has to be interesting as far as what's going on. But a typical zombie movie, run-of-the-mill zombie movie, would just bore me. But it's ironic because one of my favorite movies of all time is Return of the Living Dead. But as I've said, I did a roundtable video on this. The last thing I think about with Return of the Living Dead is zombies. To me, anyway. So to get off of that, honestly, I'd start out by saying slashers, but that's probably the genre I get burnt out on the most often. So I don't know. I like I really like a movie that just has it's got to have two good components for me. And it doesn't it can be slasher, it can be paranormal, it can be uh, found footage, although typically one of these things doesn't happen in this. My movie has to, for me to really dig it or want to watch it, is I have to have a good story and good music. I'm a musician, so everything is music to me. Everything I hear, everything I say, everything people do. I hear doors open and close. I find rhythm, weird stuff like that. So music
Right.
is one of my, which is why Day of the Dead is my favorite zombie movie, because I think the soundtrack for Day of the Dead is absolutely fantastic, and I love the story. Nobody's trusting one another. But I'm also a big small creature fan. I'm a diehard Puppet Master fan. I don't know if you can see each of them up there. I love my Puppet Masters.
Yeah.
Big Puppet Master fan. I love movies like Leprechaun. I think that's great. Obviously, Child's Play. Dolls is good. I'm coming around on Dolls. First time I watched it, I thought it was lousy, but I'm really starting to enjoy it now. Yeah, so I like a lot of stuff like that. But I don't really have a favorite subgenre. I really just, I check something out. I love it, or I don't. I either enjoy it or I don't enjoy it. It's hard, but typically, slasher movies. I think it's hard to say, man, because I'm all over the place all the time. I'll watch The Burning one night, and then the next night I'll watch The Conjuring. So I have far AD from day to day. I just want to check out different stuff. I'm a junkie for a good found footage movie. I will watch 7 crappy found footage movies till find one good one. I don't care what my wife is always like, "Oh, come on, Christian. What's the title of that?" This one's called whatever. Like, it's put in a crappy found footage movie title, and she was like, "Oh, that's terrible." I said, "It probably is. What if this is that one that affects us?" You know what I'm talking about? Because you'll watch a bunch of footage movies that'll be lousy, but you'll find one good one, and it'll haunt you for a couple of days. So I'm a sucker for a good.
Yeah. I can't do found footage. I feel sick when I watch those movies. Like, just the camera, I can't do that camera movement.
That's interesting. I know a lot of people that are like that. It never bothered me. As wild as some, never bothered.
Wow. You're lucky that doesn't, because I would love to watch some of those movies. Like, I started watching Blair Witch. I couldn't finish that. Um and what was the other one? I think I've seen one Paranormal Activity movie. That was this part 2, I think. Those ones aren't. It's a hit and miss. That one I didn't feel too bad while watching it, because a lot of them are like the stills, like it's a camera that's on the ceiling that's like, it's not like shaking, it's more still. It's just a shot of like a room. So that wasn't too bad, but I can't watch them. I can't do it.
There's a movie. It's right up being able to watch it comfortably. There's a new type of found footage there is computer screens, like actually like what you see in people type and stuff. There's like dark web, not dark web. There's movies like there's a movie called Searching. Loved it. I thought it was great, and most of it is through this dad's looking for his daughter, and most of him getting on his computer and looking up information and Skyping people. So it's not shaky cam. Most of it talking through his computer. That was really
Okay.
good. Searching. Check that out if you ever get the chance to. It
Yeah,
was pretty good.
I could probably do that since it's not shaking. It's just the shaking that bothers me of cameras.
Boy, speaking of paranormal activity, while I was thinking about this, boy, that was a fun theater experience. And that was I remember going to see that in theaters. That was
The first
incredible.
one?
Scared the hell out of me, man. People say, most people say, "Oh, they're terrible." Well, here's the thing, man. It's a roller coaster ride. When you haven't been on the roller coaster before, you don't know what to expect. So going to
Right.
see that first Paranormal Activity, I'll tell my grandkids about that, because that experience, it was incredible. The theater, I'd never seen nothing like it. The theater, people were getting up and running out the theater. They were screaming. I mean,
Oh
screaming in the
shit.
theater. Incredible experience, incredible. And I went and saw the next couple ones, but then you know, yes, the story is continuing in a way, sometimes going back and forth, but it's just the same thing in terms of, it's going to be late at night. It's going to go 3:30 a.m. You're going to see something move. So it's not as fun. It's not as pure. I think if Paranormal Activity would have been a one-off film, we'd have Scream Factory Blu-rays of it by now. We'd have the collector's editions, because it would be a much more revered film. If it didn't have all the typical Paramount, let's sequel this out as much as possible. But
Right.
sorry, thought about that when you mentioned the movie.
It's okay. That's a good question because you're talking about your theater experience. What has been your favorite theater experience while watching a scary movie in theaters?
Paranormal Activity. Oh, another good one. This is another good one. Actually, probably one of my favorites. 2008. I was 16 years old, and my buddy. I doubt he'll ever watch it. I'm gonna send him so he can see this video because he's not a horror fan. A buddy of mine named Brady. He loved going to the movies. He had just turned 17 because he's older than me. I was 16, so he could get into R-rated movies. I was 16, but he would be like, "All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Just go up to the window, just kind of lower your voice a little bit and say, hey, I forgot my ID, but yeah, I wanted to get one for so and so." And I was like, "You really think that's gonna work?" He goes, "Just do it." So I did it, and he was like, "I want to go." He's like, "I want to go see this movie called The Strangers." I had never heard nothing about it. I
Oh,
was
wow.
not a big horror fanatic yet. Like I said, this is 2010 when I'm a senior in high school. Sure enough, I go up and I was like, I forgot my ID, but I wanted to see The Strangers. Is that cool? And the woman, she's not worried about going through the ups and downs to find it out. She just wants to give me my ticket and she wants to finish her shift. You could tell she was just like not thrilled, to be there. So she gives me my ticket, and we go into to see The Strangers. And by the title, I couldn't tell what I was going to see. I had no idea. Brady was just like, "I saw a trailer for this. Looks good." That was incredible because Strangers, dude, I'm telling you, when you look back, especially the 2000 to about 2010, I can think of a couple movies that stand out because when they came out, there was no movies going on like that. You had Jeepers Creepers, that was early 2000s, and slasher movies were done especially like that. You still had a few Scream ripoffs. Teenagers, somebody puts a mask on, you don't know who it is, but there was nothing like Jeepers Creepers when that came out. But I wasn't really aware of that. I just remember I was a young then, and then Strangers came out, and we're in the midst of the exorcism movies. I remember that every other week was The Devil and I, The Last Exorcism 2, yada yada. Every Exorcist movie every other week, and then the Strangers movies came out, and I remember that movie took my town by storm. That was another one. People were running out the theaters. Now I'm from the Bible Belt town. I grew up in New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina hit. I moved up to North Louisiana. So these people go to the theaters. They are so non-horror cultured. A movie has to be big, and word of mouth has to spread for them to see it. And this movie had people running out the theaters. People were screaming. It was incredible.
Wow.
That was another good one.
Yeah, to this day, The Strangers is one of the few movies that actually still creep me out.
Because it's
Like
so real.
each time I watch The Strangers, like I've seen that movie a handful of times, and each time I watch it, I always get creeped out. It's one of the few movies that creeps me out every single time I watch it.
Yeah, fabulous.
It was bad. The last time I watched it, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I watched it downstairs in the family room. It was pitch black in the house. Everyone in the house was asleep, and I was up watching that, and it was terrifying.
Yeah, not a good idea.
No,
Came out.
it wasn't. But it was worth it. To get the adrenaline rush and the scare, it was worth it.
Yeah. Ooh, good.
Although I did see the Strangers Pray at Night Part 2 in theaters because obviously I don't think, what? No, The Strangers, what came out? When did that movie come out? 2000s, early 2000s, right?
2008.
Yeah, 2008. So yeah, see, I was around then, but I wasn't obviously old enough to get in the theaters. But I watched a Part 2 one in theaters. I still don't know if I liked it. I maybe have to watch it again to feel like sometimes it takes that second watch to enjoy it. But I just found that
Yeah,
it was missing something. The actress the main actress. She's in a lot of movies. I think she's better in comedy movies. This one, it just felt like it was kind of like a forced role to her. It wasn't suited for her.
I can see that. I enjoyed it. I gotta think about this too. Strangers Pray at Night is a complete product of its environment. What's popular right now with horror movies? What's popular in horror? Retro style synthesizers in the music, all that stuff. That's what's hot right now. Stranger Things made it popular. Then you had movies before like Your Next that was one of the first movies that brought back that synth style. That's what's
Your
hot.
Next was good too.
So that's why Strangers Prey at Night looks the way it looks. That's why it sounds the way it does. I'm burnt out on it. Being an 80s fanatic, like I said, don't get me started on bands like Tears for Fears, but that's what's so popular now, and I'm ready for somebody to do something completely against the grain. Put a weird type of soundtrack in that. Make the movie bleak. Make it look ugly. You know, make it not meet you halfway at all. I'm ready to see that next movie that's going to buck the trend. So because that's obviously what's hot right now. Stranger Things made it like that. Everything is retro. I think.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah, I love it too. Don't get me wrong, but you know that's why that movie looks the way it's a product of what's going on. I think they're even making a American Horror Story season called 84 or something.
Yeah, they are, and they keep. I don't know if it's fan made, but they keep getting like '80s movie posters, like Sleepaway Camp, and putting the logo on top.
Right, right.
But I don't know if it's fan made. It might be fan made. I don't know if it was official.
There was a movie that I finally watched called Summer of '80. God, I absolutely adored the movie. I thought it was I'm not a Stranger Things fanatic. I enjoyed the show. I really liked season 1 because
Yeah.
it was very homey feeling. I love the little black guy, the little black kid in the show.
Oh, what's
Because
his name? I think his what's his name in the show? His real name is Caleb. Let me look it up quickly. I know who you're talking
I
about.
because when I was watching the show, I was not the 11. I think is their character name. I
Yes.
was just like, ridiculous. This kid just needs to say something. Stop pointing at stuff. It aggravated me. It genuinely.
His name's
It
Lucas. His name's Lucas in the show.
Yeah, Lucas. So in the show, I'm watching the show, and I typically don't like to just like yell at the screen ever, but like when this character 11, she's not saying anything, she's just pointing. It literally annoyed me to no end. So when you got this kid Lucas, like she's not just. What are you talking about? Why are you gonna go? She's not saying nothing. Don't go that way because she's pointing that way. I'm like, thank you, kid, thank you. So I loved him. Season 2 was good. It was hard for me. I don't know why, because everything was bigger and badder and better. I guess more money, more production, more retro, more nods, and all this. But I don't know. I just fell in love with that first season so much. I need to probably watch it again, maybe once some time goes by. But yeah, whatever I was gonna say before, I completely forgot. But I love Lucas. I love him in season 1 because he's so real. Thank you. Give me some reality in that show.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I watched the first season, I think like 4 or 5 times. It's like I binge watched it by myself, then I watched it with my friend, and then I watched it with my parents, and I watched it with somebody else too. I think it might have been my sister. And like literally I watched like 4 or 5 times, like within like maybe like 3 months. Like this is nuts. But I love the first season was the best so far. Shout out to Stranger Things coming out July 1st, I believe, for season 3, and I'm excited for it. I think they're ending on season 4 or season 5. I think that's been confirmed already. But no, yeah, I really enjoy it. I love the 80s themed, and it's kind of sad to see these kids that are in the show. They're growing up so fast. Like it's nuts. Like in this new season, they're like teenagers now. They're not kids.
It's crazy, crazy, crazy.
It's pretty cool though, because like I watch a lot of like 70s, 80s, and 90s horror movies, and it's cool. I'm not saying that Stranger Things is horror necessarily, but it's kind of cool to see all these kid actors grow up now. Like when I grow up, I'll get to see them when they grow up. It's just I never got to really experience that with a lot of people. Like even Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Kernan Shipka. She's my age, and like when I get older, I'll see like what her career offers her down the road, and it's weird. It's kind of interesting seeing all these people that are starting out now and to see what they'll be doing like 30 years down the road.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I usually just ask a lot of my guests too is what's your biggest fear?
Oh God. Um, biggest fear. I have a lot of fear. I have a phobia, and this is going to sound so ironic. I have a phobia of dead silence and being in a pitch black, dead silent room. I cannot do it. I have to have a TV on when I sleep. Silence is deafening.
What? Yeah, really? You have to sleep with like white noise?
Yeah, silence is deafening. It hurts. It physically hurts me. Like
Wow.
to be in a dead quiet room with no lights. I can't do it.
Wow.
And I have a very big phobia of snakes. I don't touch them. I don't like them. Um, I've always had this fear of just, I don't know. I guess a lot of the typical things people would be afraid of, but I don't know. Some of them are just really weird. I don't even know how to words. Um, I have this recurring nightmare all the time. Don't know what it means. It's a dream where I wake up and I open my eyes and I'm falling hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air into like the middle of the ocean, and just that sense of dread. I'll wake up, just my heart happens maybe once a month, man. I don't know why. I think
That's
it's because
so weird.
whenever I'm stressed out, whenever I got a lot of stress going on, matter of fact, it happened last night. The 2 hours of sleep I got, but I remember I last night, man, I remember waking up and it's a daunting feeling. And I've looked it up online. I've read a couple forums about people who have a similar type of dream, and they usually say it's whenever you're not relaxed, if you got a lot of stuff on your mind, and you just feel like you're stressed out. That's a dream I have, dude. It's a haunting feeling because you're helpless. I don't like being in the ocean anyway, so um,
Wow.
that's
That's fascinating that you keep having the same recurring dream.
yeah, no lie. No,
Wow.
I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
Wow. It's weird. It's like it's so weird for me at least. Like most people, when people dream, you kind of forget about it within like a week or two. And it's like it's weird because like sure you might have like those moments where it just specks like you just I remember that dream now. How do I not remember? It's like it's just weird because they just become memories. You don't really remember. Like sure when you wake up at that moment you're terrified, but then you forget about it. Like what did I even dream about now? I don't remember. It's so weird how you can't remember your dreams. That's always, at least sometimes. I know you can because you keep having the same recurring one, but because like, a lot of times people can't remember their dreams for some reason.
Yeah, right. That dream I have that I can remember. But yeah, all the time. And I have had those where I'll be in this kind of dream and you physically feel it right here when you wake up. That sense of whatever you're going through in that dream, you feel it. And you wake up and then you literally there's moments where I don't know what was I just dreaming about. I can't put it into words because they're very, I guess, atmospheric. A lot of your dreams, they're not a physical thing. It's just bizarre.
It's nuts. The brain is nuts. It's crazy how the brain works.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Artie Zombie says I hardly can remember my dreams. Yeah, it's just I think it's one of those things where is it I guess is it your subconscious? Is that what it is?
that's the thing, man.
You're,
I don't. There is no. Nobody has hard data on what a dream is really.
yeah.
We know. There's no book on it. We just know that we do it.
And you can't if it's like something that doesn't really stand out, you just end up forgetting about it, which is weird. You can never really remember what you dreamt before. It's just weird. I don't understand how that works. Your just brain kind of just pops it out and it's gone. Um, let's see. If you guys have any questions for Christian, let me know. About my last two. For me is besides horror, what is your favorite type of genre of film?
Probably two. I really love action movies. I love finding a good classic action movie I haven't seen. I had avoided the movie Speed for years.
Oh, really?
Finally,
That's a great movie too.
fabulous. Okay. There's another room in my house that I've never showed on my YouTube channel.
Uh-oh.
I am a huge massively huge Stallone fan. Uh, I started with the Rocky movies. I mean, I have every movie Stallone's done. I'm just a massive fan of Stallone. So I love uh, just the Stallone type action movies. I love movies like Cliffhanger. I love Demolition Man. I love, to me, if I ever was gonna show somebody like a movie that just like a good action movie, like what's a good action movie with like a good story, I would say, well, I'm gonna show the best action movie with the absolute best story, and that movie's called First Blood. I think that's one of the greatest movies ever made. Period. I love First Blood. But I'm also I love Schwarzenegger and I love Van Damme. My dad likes Seagal, and I'm a big Van Damme guy. We argue. I'm like, Dad, Seagal's a joke. Seagal's a joke. No, but truth be told, I do like the early Seagal films. I like Under Siege and stuff. But yeah, I love 80s, 90s action. Love it. Um, but I'm also a big television show nut. I love binge watching shows. I love the show Frasier. I love the show. Uh,
Cheers.
Cheers is great, and I like finding new good shows. Kind of off topic, but not really. There was a show I just, being a big Married with Children fan, I
Oh
saw
my
this.
gosh! Wait, you're gonna talk about Dead to Me, right?
I watched the entire season in one day, and I told my wife, I said, Sydney, in my 27 years of being alive, never has a show had me hooked at the end of every episode.
Right.
I'd rather died than had to miss an episode because I had to go do something. This was the best one season show I had ever watched in my life, and I mean that. I thought it was that good.
Dude, I literally within the last couple days, I have binge watched a shit of that show. I started the first night, I watched like 4 episodes straight. I'm like, okay, I gotta stop. And then it was getting late, and then I'm like, I'm almost done. Like I'm like over halfway done right now. I think I'm on like episode 6. It's so addicting, it's so good. I love it.
I'm not going to say a word. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Um, I love a show. I tell you, it had a bunch of drama going on with Danny Masterson, but it's not my style. It's not my personality. I'm not the country boy type, despite the fact that I live in the country. I love The Ranch. I thought that was a good show. Uh, Obviously, love the horror types of TV stuff. I enjoyed Tales from the Crypt. I really like Tales from the Dark Side a little bit better. Not that I'm saying it's better. I enjoy it a little bit better because it's really, really. Uh, but yeah, man, I'm also a wrestling fan. That's a very closet thing. I want to say admit it, just talk about it much, but like I got the WWE like network thing, and I'll watch, WrestleMania '99 and all the Stone Cold era stuff. I love all that stuff.
It feels
So,
like a lot of
but
horror
yeah,
fans. I find that horror fans and wrestling go hand in hand. A lot of people that love horror movies love wrestling.
yeah, and it blew me up. It blew my mind because I'm like, I'm a strange person because I like these two things. But no, yeah, you're absolutely right. Uh, so yeah, that's a good thing. And I really like a good crime documentary. Naturally, I think a lot of horror fans do. I love a good. If you show me a documentary about a religious cult and these crazy people, I love them. I love watching a documentary about like a crazy cult guy. It just fascinates me. So I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Watching Fire Festival, the documentaries in the Fire Festival, it's just great stuff. I loved all that. So I
Yeah.
like a lot. Horror's great, but you can't just watch horror. You'll go nuts. You gotta you
Yeah.
gotta
And your interest.
you gotta laugh sometimes too. Sometimes it's good to watch. And obviously, when I can't figure out what I want to watch, we put on The Office, which we've seen the
Yeah.
show times every episode, but everybody has.
Yeah, the movie that show's great. That's one show that's filmed kind of funny, but I can deal with it. That and like Modern Family,
Right.
they're shot in a way where it's not like make it's a different. I don't even know what you call that type of shooting
It's
technique. I don't. What is it called?
I don't know. It's like it's handheld. The cameras are the
Yeah,
guys holding the,
yeah.
but it's for the most part they're not.
It's not shaky, but it's shot differently in a way where it's not like a normal shot film or television series.
Right. It's great. Well, it's supposed to be like style, but it's a mockumentary, if you will, I guess is the term.
Yeah, of course. Um, what was the name of that show you guys mentioned? I want to start watching since you guys recommended it. It's called Dead to Me. It has yeah, Christine Applegate and what's the other one? Cardarella. What's her first name?
Uh,
She's on a lot of stuff too. Hold on. I'll look it up. Dude, like
whoever's
her
listening, yeah.
her name
Whoever's
is
listening,
Linda Cardarella. Carter hold on. Linda Cardellani. Cardellani.
for everybody watching this show after it's recorded right now, if anybody's ever not wanted to listen to me before, listen to me, guys. Dead to Me was the one of the most compelling shows I've ever seen. I mean, it was that good. There was not a wasted sec. Every scene in this, it's brilliant. Every single scene and every single episode has you leaning forward more and more, waiting. Like, oh my, what the?
It always ends
What?
off on a cliffhanger.
But it's not ridiculous in the same. I digress because I don't want to give. I don't want to even. Whoever wants to watch the
Just
show,
watch it.
trust me.
No,
Give that due diligence shot, and I you'll love it. So yeah,
yeah.
God, I'm ready for season 2.
I know, I'm so excited. The thing is too, I hope you know, Santa Clarita Diet, I really love that show, and unfortunately that got canceled. I'm just hoping with shows, I'm hoping this one doesn't get canceled because I mean, I'm so saddened by Santa Clarita Diet because that show was so fun, but I hope they don't end Dead to Me. Like, I don't know, you know, be honest, when I was watching this show, like, to be honest, they probably could have just made this into a movie because I'd like, how far can they go? I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but like the concept of the story, I'm like, how far can they go with this? Like, they should have just made it into a movie, but then like each episode, you're finding something else out, and like immediately you want to watch next episode to see what happens because it always ends off not like a huge cliffhanger, but kind of like a cliffhanger. It's like, what the hell's gonna happen next? It's really good. It's not horror, it's I would consider, I think it's considered like a dark comedy drama. It's more drama to be honest than comedy, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's almost like Twin Peaks. It's kind of got dark, like you said, dark, but man, subject matter's real. So
Yeah, no, it's great. Definitely check that out, guys. Dead to Me on Netflix right now. Go check it out. It's really good. Um, RD Zombie, thoughts on the new Child's Play, and are you guys going to see it? And also, shout out, we have Horror and Me, Darren Mitchell in the chat right now. What's up, dude? Thoughts on the new Child's Play, and are you guys going to go see it? I'll let you go first, Kirsten, since you're the guest.
yeah, I'm gonna go see it. Pretty vocal about this, and fortunately, nobody's threatened. I'm just not a fan with where Don Mancini has taken the movies. While he's a good director, I thought Cult of Chucky looked fabulous. It's just getting a little bit out of bounds for me. Which I understand you have to do that. You can't just make the same movie. I get that. I'm not arguing with what Don Mancini's doing. But you got multiple Chuckies. You're bringing this person in. And I'll listen to the Postmortem podcast with Mick Garris, one of my favorite people on the planet. And he had Don Mancini on the show. And he was asking Don, what's the plans for the show? And Don was basically saying, we're going to really introduce a lot of new characters. We're going to continue the story from Cult of Chucky. He's interested in bringing back, characters like Glenn from Seed of Chucky and all that. Well, I have no issue with that. It doesn't excite me. What I'm getting at is I am not over the moon excited about the TV show. I'm going in with a little bit of reservation, but obviously I want the show to succeed. I don't want anything to fail. I want the show to be as good as it can be, and I hope it does great ratings, is great television, all that. I'm more excited for the remake because it's just a fresh perspective. And while I'm not just a person that loves to remake, let's remake everything, because horror is just so expendable. Apparently, everything. You don't remake a movie like Caddyshack, but now Candyman's getting remade, for God's sakes. Like Candyman is.
Yeah, Jordan Peele's doing it, and Tony Todd's coming back too.
you could argue that like, Candyman is a cult horror favorite. Like Candyman is not as big as Friday the 13th. You don't see Candyman masks at Walmart like you see hockey. What I'm getting at is horror is just expendable for some reason. It's just like, well, let's remake all these horror movies, but you don't see a movie like I said, you don't see Caddyshack getting remade. You don't see, uh, you don't see Speed getting remade. They don't mess with movies like that. You don't see The Matrix getting remade. I don't think it got remade anyway. But what I'm getting at is with Child's Play, it's interesting because I know where the show is going to kind of be going because of what Don himself said. So I'm interested in a fresh perspective. So I want to enjoy the remake and I want to enjoy the show. But yes, I'm going to go see the remake because I'm going to go. I'm going to go there and see it, and I want it to be a great movie. So that's as simple as that.
Yeah, I agree with you too. Yeah, the new Child's Play TV series. I heard about it, but it's kind of, I feels like it hasn't been too much info hasn't been provided yet. So I'm actually glad you mentioned that, Christian, about him mentioning it on the podcast. It seemed interesting. I mean, I think the Child's Play franchise is going in. Um, it's going in a different direction right now. I mean, obviously, like I would say my favorite from the franchise is the part 1, 2, and Bride of Chucky. I think those are a lot of people's favorites, but it feels like this. Not necessarily running out of ideas, but from starting out the Child's Play franchise, they're kind of going like over the top, like in a whole new thing, like a whole new direction. So I mean, I'm still gonna watch TV series just to check it out and see how it is, because I mean, who wouldn't? But it should be different. I mean, especially if it's continuing from Cult to Chucky. I like the idea too. I do like how this franchise is bringing back. You have Christina Elise, and you have Alex Vincent. And you even have I think her name, yeah, it's Fiona, I think, right? Brad Dourif's daughter's Fiona, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fiona Dourif. And Jennifer Tilly too. They're kind of, I like how they're coming back to the franchise and making guest appearances. I think it's really cool. I'm definitely gonna check it out, and I wonder when the TV series will premiere. I'm not sure. I think it's still hush hush. I don't think too much information has been provided about the TV series. But as far as the Child's Play movie, the remake, I'm gonna go see it, but I'll just be honest. I know a lot of people are talking about this. Feels like I'm happy that Mark Hamill is doing the voice because I think he's a very talented actor. But as far as the look of Chucky, I'm not a big fan. I wish they kind of made it a little different. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of it being like Wi-Fi based and all that stuff. I don't really care that it's like that because you got to remember too, this movie is coming out with a new generation, and all these people in this generation are going to see this movie are everyone has social media, so they have to combine today's I guess subjects and today's media to this movie. It has to make it modern. I don't think they're gonna, as you said too, like sometimes they remake movies that are based back in like the 80s, whatever. I don't think they're gonna do that in this case. Most times we have remakes coming out now, it's all modern. Some of my favorite remakes that came out is like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I thought that was great. Shout out to Christian too. He just made um a I think it was a top 5 or top 3 list today. It was posted. Was it?
I did a top talking about.
Yeah, the one you posted today. I watched it.
Yeah, ranking the the big four remakes: Friday, Nightmare, Halloween, and Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I watched. You did a great job with that ranking, and yeah, within the last few years, I would say, yeah, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a lot of people's favorites, and so is Halloween. I didn't mind. I mean, obviously, Halloween at 78 is my favorite horror movie,
Right.
but Rob Zombie had a different approach to it, which I thought was interesting to see his approach. But I'm looking forward to Child's Play. I think it's cool that they're remaking this movie from the 80s that these new generations are going to get to see. And then I'm sure the people are going to see the new one are also going to end up watching the original if they have not yet. And I'm curious to see what direction the TV series is going to head to, and as a continuation from the franchise. I think the franchise is fun. It's kind of over the top now, but it's Chucky, and it's always a fun time. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's see here. Cinema of the Dead. So I'm definitely gonna go watch it at the movies. I try to go see every horror movies that comes out. I love the horror movie theater experience. I do too. I had one shitty experience though. I went to go see It 2017, and there were so many teenagers in that theater. Like they would not shut up. Like they kept constantly. I had someone yelling behind me, like to them. I'm like, thank you. I said thank you because like they would not stop. It's kind of sucks when it's like that nowadays. Not all the time, obviously, but I'm like, especially for us, it's just I think because we're more attached to these movies and because we're horror fans, we want to go see that. We want to have like the perfect experience. Um, when you have like people distracting in the theaters, it makes it really unenjoyable. But what are you gonna do? But yeah, I try to go see every movie that comes out in theater. For horror, especially. I really want to go see Rocket Man. That one looks really good. The Elton John story. I wonder how I gotta see how Ma did. I might go see that the new Blumhouse movie. Um, the Nun is in the chat. Hello, the Nun. What is up, Valak? They asked, "What did you think of the Nun?" I personally, I'll let you go after Christian. I personally, that the Nun got a lot of hate. I went in with really low expectations, so I wasn't really expecting much. So I actually ended up liking it. Obviously, The Conjuring 1 and 2, I think, are the best from the franchise. But I do enjoy the spin-offs movies. I think they're a fun watch. But what's your view on that, Christian?
Yeah, it's funny, man. To me, it's so trendy to just hate everything. Everybody loves to see somebody say something negative on the internet, so they can, everybody can jump on it. Hate this, hate that, get this person in trouble. Hate, hate, hate. Everything is so. I heard the same thing. Like this movie was, the Nun was horrible. So I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna get the movie and I'm gonna watch it. And I watched the Nun and I was like, that was kind of pretty darn cool, especially like how the Nun almost looked like this animatronic on this ride that would come in and out of the scenes. I was like, that's kind of neat. Looks
Yeah.
scary. I was like, what is so bad about this? Like, you want to? I can show all these people that this movie was terrible. I'll be like, no, I'll show you a terrible movie. The Nun was a pretty good darn movie.
Right.
Like, what the hell? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Everybody's a critic. Everybody's such a critic nowadays.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The
You gotta watch a movie for yourself. Everyone's their own critic.
Exactly. The Nun was fun.
Yeah, it
No
was
rhyme
fun.
intended.
Especially that's like where they shot. The cinematography was really nice. Like I love how they filmed that Romanian castle. I thought that was really cool. I enjoyed it. I've seen it a couple times already. I love the Conjuring franchise. That's one of my favorite modern horror films coming out. But yeah, I like it.
Annabelle Creation scared me and my wife so much. We watched it together. We were like,
Annabelle Creation.
I said, Sydney, like the part where the girl ends up in the barn and then you see the demon, not the demon possessing the dog. I was like, Sydney, this movie's actually kind of getting to me.
Yeah.
Like, I know this is good. And we would avoid these movies because I don't go to the theaters a lot. Just because of dead. Although now I'm realized just go to a matinee, Christian, when nobody's there and wait till the second or third weekend. But in the YouTube game, that's suicide. But that's why I really don't review new movies because it's a lost cause. Because I'm not going to the theater open at night, for God's sake. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about getting views on videos or I gotta hurry up and get this review for God King of the Monsters up. I didn't review it online. I was planning on it, but I didn't. But yeah, I didn't see any of the Annabelle movies because I just didn't go to the theater. Because I usually tell myself, Christian, you're gonna buy it on Blu-ray. Why you double dip it when it comes out?
Oh, do you always buy new releases on Blu-ray before seeing them?
Usually. Like I got the Ouija's probably 3 months ago. The Ouija movies, expecting nothing because of course every review on the internet is this movie sucks. And I watched them like the PG Origin, I believe, was this the prequel. I was
Yeah.
Jesus, this movie was absolutely fantastic. Like, I
No,
really,
it was good. I really enjoyed it.
it blows my mind. The first Ouija, I thought was pretty good. Okay, I'll tell you one movie I watched that I don't like to say hate. I think hate is a almost a silly word to use about a movie for me, because the movie never did nothing to me. Why do I hate it? I definitely didn't enjoy it. But one movie I did not enjoy whatsoever, and I couldn't find any redeeming qualities. I really think that I could have done a better job. Was a movie called The Bye Bye Man. I just thought that was the most uninspired, ridiculously lame movie I'd ever seen. I thought it was that bad.
I think the issue with the movie was that it was I think
It was
it was rated like PG-13, and
exactly. You're
that's
getting
the
the
issue. I think if they had the licensing, or not licensing, but if they had the permission to do like an R-rated movie, most times when it's an R-rated movie, it's gonna be better. It's because
yeah,
it's the ratings that cause it to kind of be a movie that's lacking in something when it's a low rating,
exactly.
because people are like, oh, you know what, let's rate it PG-13 so that more people can see it, instead of it
Exactly.
being like rated R and going all out and doing whatever you want with it. That's the only issue. So yeah, I think they could have done a better job. But yeah, I think like people that are making films today, make sure when you make a horror movie that it's rated R. If it's not R, don't try to make it an R movie that's rated for kids. Just go
Exactly. I
all
mean,
out. If you're gonna make a horror movie that's not gonna be rated R, that's for like a general audience. That's not supposed to be like an R-rated movie. That's rated PG-13 or whatever. Then yeah, that's fine. But when you're trying to make a horror movie that's looking like an R-rated movie, don't rate it PG-13.
exactly. Yeah, you're completely right. And my issue, when you think about this, tell me how ridiculous this sounds. Let's say the Bye Bye Man. We're in the world of the Bye Bye. The Bye Bye Man is real. Okay. And you're looking at me. I'm looking at you. And I'm looking at you. And I'm saying, don't say it. Don't say it. What are you thinking about when I say that? It's so ridiculous. Hey, don't say it. Don't think it. Don't say it. You immediately think about the Bye. How ridiculous! Like, I'm sure the moment in the movie when this movie's being made, somebody said, "God, this is bad." Like, no, this is like. Sure, somebody got pulled to the side and was like, "No, no, this is not good. Like, this doesn't make any sense." So
Yeah.
very lenient. I don't ever like to just say a movie is bad. I try not to. But that movie, man, that was hard. That was a hard watch. That was.
Yeah, and Doug Jones is in it too, and Jenna Canal. Jenna Canal is a sweetheart, though. I had her on the show near the beginning of this Chit Chat Geek Out segment on my channel, and obviously people know her from Terrifier. But no, she's really sweet. I'm meening actually Doug Jones. I'm planning to. I'm going to Niagara Falls Comic Con. Shout out to anybody who's going to Niagara Falls this weekend, June 9th to 11th. I will be down Niagara. If any of you guys want to hang out, if you're going to be down there, I'm going to Comic Con there, and yeah, Doug Jones is going to be there, and he's been in so much movies, and yeah, he was the Bye Bye Man in that movie.
God bless him. Fantastic thing. There ain't no bye bye.
Yeah. Well, that's usually a hard question for people, so you got your answer. Let's see. Someone said, what is your channel, Christian, so I can subscribe? It's his channel is Christian Hanna Horror. Go check him out. All the links, guys, if you're not yet subscribed to Christian, go check him out. The links are all in the description below. Subscribe to him, follow him on social media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and buy some of his merch on his website. All the links are down below, so go check him out, guys. We'll wrap it up here in a bit. We've been up for an hour and a half, so we'll wrap it up shortly here. Someone asked, Christian, did you get a chance to watch Night of the Demons yet? One of my favorites. Part 2 is good too.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Someone asked if you had. They said, Christian, did you get a chance to watch Night of the Demons yet? And then they said one of my favorites. And then they said Part 2 is good too.
Yes. Did watch Night of the Demon. They probably saw update. I got Night of the Demons on Steelbook, Scream Factory, and I thought it was very fun. I had been warned about the lipstick scene, and I was like, "What are you talking about, lipstick scene?" And I see it, and I'm like, "Huh?" Like that was weird. Yeah, great little horror movie. Great little horror movie. I'm ready to see the sequels. So yes, whoever said that, tell them, or obviously tell them they're hearing me right now. But yeah, fabulous.
Yeah.
Loved it. Linnea Quigley is just lovely.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun, cheesy 80s movie. It's great. Let's see. Someone said Darren Burrows said Final Girls was an exception, but that was a great PG film. Okay, that was one. Final Girls is a great movie. I had so much fun watching that. I thought it was an amazing, great concept that I don't even think has been done before. So shout out to Final Girls. And you got Teresa Farmiga in that, Vera Farmiga's sister, um, as well as a few other familiar faces. I thought the movie was fantastic. For it to have a PG rating, like, oh my gosh, they did a really good job. And it was comedy horror, and I thought it was great. Did you see it yet, Kristen?
No, I know.
Really? You gotta watch it, dude. It's such a you'll love it. It's such a fun ride.
Planning on it. Yeah.
You'll love it. Shout out to Phil because Phil's Creepy Videos, he told me about that movie, and I saw someone post it for sale, bought it. I'm like, okay, let's watch this. It was amazing. I'm gonna watch it again soon because I had so much fun. It's I don't want to spoil it or anything, but it's kind of like your classic 80s slasher, and
Good.
it's a really good one. It's a really fun film. You'll like it a lot. Um, Come on, Strange says bunch of guys from Comic Con Fiend Club will be there. Wish I was going. Okay, cool. Will you see Resurrections of the Creature Future? Resurge. What does that even say? Resurge. I didn't even say that. Do you see the chat?
No, I don't.
Oh shit. I can't I don't know. I'm having a brain fart. I can't read that word. Um Resurgence of I guess that's what it is. Resurgence of the creature future, sooner rather than later. I
It
don't know.
sounds like a documentary movie, huh?
But he says we see resurrection. I can't even
Oh,
say
well,
this word. Resurgence of the creature future sooner rather than I think he's talking to you. I think you probably mentioned it.
will we see a resurrection? Is he saying will we see a resurgence of creature features like a movie?
Yeah, resurgence. That's a weird word. I've never said that word in my life, I don't think.
I mean, in a way, you'll get doses of it. In a way, you could call Godzilla a creature feature. I mean, because they're creatures at the end of the day. You got movies like that. I don't know. I still think we're kind of. It's interesting right now in horror because I don't know what phase we're in right now. I think we're starting to come out of the
Yeah,
paranormal phase a little bit,
yeah, we
which
are.
is okay. That's refreshing. It's interesting because people give credit to Halloween reviving the slasher and horror, but I like to credit it to it. I thought was such a hit, and it shows that you got to put your heart and soul into these movies. You can't just cash grab them anymore. I think it's funny because the people's voices are so powerful today that it's not just about all right, let's just throw the word it on this and just put this movie out. It don't matter if it's good or not. The return will be there by the time the negative reviews come in. It doesn't matter, which is how it used to be. I think now it's like you got to make a good movie now. So I think it had a lot to do with Halloween. I think taking being as good as it was because the passion had to be there, not so much because Jason and all those guys are Halloween fans, but it really set the bar, for how to do a good horror remake. And I know Halloween's not a remake, excuse me. It's really like a Halloween 2. But it's going to be interesting. We could be getting back into a remake phase because let's talk about, we got Candyman, we got Child's Play. But there's a lot of great stuff that people that goes straight out to video now, and it's independent. There's a great movies like Andy that came out. Great stuff that just never went to theaters, at least not worldwide. So
Right.
you got a little bit of digging for all there. Find good movies, especially movies that are against the grain. You got to do a little bit of digging. So
Right.
um,
Yeah, there's a lot of
So I don't know.
that come out. I watched recently. It was a movie called Greta. I don't know if you heard of it. It had what's her name? The blonde. She was in the new Suspiria movie.
I know. Oh, the new Suspiria. Me and my wife loved that. Kicked our asses. That movie was great.
Oh, Chloe Grace Moretz. Yeah, she was in this movie called Greta. This was an independent film. I think it was submitted to film festivals. Um, I think it might have got a theatrical release, but I think it was selected theaters, and I thought it was good because a lot of times like independent films is either a hit or miss. Um, I thought it was an independent film, Greta, and I thought it was really well done. It was a creepy movie. I would recommend you guys checking it out if you guys like. What do I consider this movie anyways? It's not really a psychological thriller or anything. It's I wonder if the genre of film is on here. It's labeling as a drama thriller, which is pretty much is. Anyways, I don't want to spoil anything, but if you guys like trying to compare it to another movie that I've seen, I'm sure there's other ones. Anyways, just it's a good modern horror movie that just came out, and I think it's worth a watch. It's pretty entertaining and pretty thrilling. It has you on your seat the whole time. I thought it was really well done. Yeah, so it's called Greta. It's really good. I enjoyed it. Um, let's see. Did you guys see the new Scary Stories Tell in the Dark trailer? I saw the first one that came out, but I didn't see the newest one that came out. Did you see it yet, Kristen?
I'm purposely gonna sound weird, but I'm so nostalgic for me reading the books. I'm purposely not watching the trailers because I want to go to the theater and not have any sort of notion about what it's gonna look like or be like. So I'm avoiding it, as strange as that sounds, but I want to go into this with not a clue of what it looks like or sounds like or anything like that. So big fan of the books though. Have them all, love them.
Awesome. Yeah, well, you grew up with all that stuff. I think that's awesome. I kind of grew up when yeah, I'm thinking because by when those came out, the Goosebumps was around too, and I grew up. Oh, I say trying to think like when I was in school because you used to have like book fairs. I always used to see like Goosebump books at a young age, and I think at the time, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was still on bookshelves too around the time that Goosebumps was around. But yeah, I think I'm really excited, especially too. It's Guillermo del Toro, right? He's directing it, right?
Brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I still need to see the new trailer. Um, Someone else said, are you both looking forward to seeing Once Upon a Time in America? I have not heard of that. Have you heard of that, Kirsten?
I think it's a new film.
New film? I haven't heard of it yet. I'll have to check out the trailer for that. I feel like it's time to see another werewolf movie. Yeah, werewolf movies died out. I don't know what happened. I think the last major one that came out, like blockbuster hit, was Wolfman, and
Right.
that one was like that had a big cast in it too. Was it like Anthony Hopkins or something?
Yeah, I remember that.
2010 film.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Anthony Hopkins, Emily Blunt. Yeah, that was the last Wolf movie I've seen. I think Wolf Cop too. That one came out like um not too long ago. When was Wolf Cop? 2014. So I would say probably Wolf Cop was in the like not a lot of people know a lot like not the general audience knows about Wolf Cop, but us horror fans know about it. So I would say that's probably been the most recent Wolf film. It died out. They don't people just don't make them anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Are either of you watching Swamp Thing? The one with what do you call it? The one that James Wan's directing, right? It's like a DC movie, and the guy Derek Mears or something from Friday 13th. He's on that, right?
I'll absolutely go that because I love Derek.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, Swamp Thing. Isn't it directed by James Wan?
It very well could. I'm not made on all the specifics.
Let me see. I think it is. Yeah, it is. It is him. He's wait, is it a TV series or is it a movie?
I thought it was a movie.
It looks like it's gonna be a TV series. It says TV series. It says 2019, 10 episodes.
Oh, I had
Swamp.
my heart on a movie.
It says Swamp Thing premieres May 31st, though. It's already on. It's already started.
Huh. Oh well.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Um, yeah, episode one's crazy. Had some John Carpenter Think type effects. That's cool. Tr- Tarantino new film is Once Upon a Time in America. Oh, cool. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, it's a series. Wow, that's weird. I thought it was a movie. Very cool. I'll let you go here shortly. Last two questions for you, Christian. What are some of your favorite modern horror movies?
Modern horror movie. I thought Hereditary was brilliant. Um, obviously, I thought the Terrifier was really fun. I love the Terrifier. That was great.
Wait, can I start there? Like, it feels like it's not just you, but a lot of people call it the Terrifier. When
Yeah,
it's just
you're right.
terrifying. Oh no, it's not just you. A lot of people are saying it, the Terrifier. But I think it's funny. But no, Terrifier was great.
Yeah. Summer of '84 was fun, which was I saw that on Shutter. Um, I love Jigsaw. I'm a big Saw fan. And the
Okay.
Jigsaw movie out a couple years ago. Me and my wife went to the theater to see that. Had a blast. Um, uh, I just try to find anything good that comes out. I like to try to give a lot of things a shot. I still need to watch Happy Death Day. I don't just I purposely try to at least watch one newer horror movie a week, especially one that I haven't
You
seen.
haven't seen it yet? Happy Death Day?
I have. It's funny. I get into things just late enough to where they get pulled from the shelves at Walmart and stuff. So I
Okay.
bought Take Two on Blu-ray, and I was like, well, certainly they'll have the first one. Let me go check the big bins, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I
Yeah.
need to pick up one so I can watch them.
Yeah.
Um,
I've seen the first one. The first one's good. I still yet have to see the second one.
but yeah, honestly, I thought Hereditary was the most just haunting movie I'd seen in years. So
Yeah.
Hereditary was fabulous.
A lot of people like that movie. It feels like though the general audience will be confused by it, but I think us horror fans appreciate it more. It's just a way that it's kind of a confusing story, but when you rewatch it, you kind of miss things you miss. You kind of see things you missed the first viewing, and plus, I mean, you have the internet that helps you out. So if you're confused at all, it was a confusing ending at first when I first watched. I'm like, wait, what the hell just happened? And then I did research online about it, and it's a twisted, artsy horror movie, and yeah, I'm glad that it has the following that it does because it feels like the general audience doesn't really appreciate it as much as the horror fans do. So that's a good pick.
And they had terrible poster art. Poster art was boring. You couldn't tell what it was. That's my only complaint. I think if they would have marketed a better poster to draw people in, it would have got a little bit more of an audience. But yeah, it's a hard movie to market because it's like you said, it gets bizarre, but
Yeah,
it's still scary as hell. So
yeah,
fabulous movie.
yeah. It's kind of similar. I think I said this recently. So for the first time, I know a lot of people. This movie gets a lot of shit on, but I watched Lords of Salem for the first time recently, like a couple weeks ago. Considering all the like all the hate it gets, and I watched it, I'm like, it wasn't really that bad of a movie. It wasn't that bad. Um, I liked it. I would watch it again. And it's kind of like I said, it's kind of similar because I saw Hereditary for Lords of Salem. Like it kind of has that same vibe. It's that witchy art, that witchy vibe to it, that cult
Both
vibe.
very both very good films.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I have to rewatch them. And for my last question for you, Christian, is I know as you said, you're a big music guy. I know you're also in a band. What are some of your hobbies and interests outside of the horror game?
Hobbies. Um, Honestly, music probably consumes my life as much as horror does. Although horror is my number one love. Like I would take horror over anything. I'm just that I love movies. I love movies so much. Movies hit me in my soul more than music does, but they both are incredibly. I love old school video games. I got a video game room behind this room with retro video games, Sega Genesis, Saturn, Dreamcast. Big Sega fan.
That's
I love.
awesome.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, man. I live a pretty a strange yet simple life. You know, music and and I love it. The band I'm in is not '80s music, but I love my band. But it's not the typical music I ever like played or listened to. I was always in hard rock bands, punk rock bands. This is kind of what you would call that Jack White type of rock.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Cold Canyons is the band. We're on Spotify, iTunes, all that. If anybody's interested. So
Awesome.
honestly, man, music and movies and just video games and YouTube. Honestly, YouTube. They
I would
they
consider
they
that a hobby, YouTube.
yeah they it gives me something to look forward to, and I think that's what everybody needs in their life is something to look forward to.
Yeah, of course.
And you, anybody watching this video is always thought about becoming a YouTuber. Go for it. Don't worry about expensive cameras from the start. Don't worry about equipment. Don't worry about this. Find something you like and talk about it. That's all. That's all it is. That's how you start. Go back and watch some of my old videos. They are horrible. Filmed on
Uh,
iPhone 3Gs. But you know what? When I go back and watch them, I say to myself, there's a guy that loved what he was talking about, and that's all that matters. So
yeah.
yeah,
And everybody too, like when you start YouTube, it will be cringeworthy to you. When you like, it's kind of crazy because within a year, you when doing YouTube, you improve a lot. Just like socially, and you get more comfortable in front of the camera, and it looks like you're having more fun with it. At the beginning, even for me, like if you were watching some of my old videos, it's cringe. Like it's like what the hell? Like I wish I did this differently. I wish I changed this. I wish I changed that. And
we
it's
all
yeah, it's just crazy. It's like you start that way, but when you build your channel, you learn so much, meet so many amazing people, you improve, and your content will become better just from you being more comfortable talking in front of the camera. As Christian said, you don't really need to have expensive equipment. You know, just have like film with your phone. Everybody has phones. Just film with your phone. Make sure it's stabilized your camera so that looks nice and sharp, not all shaking. But have a simple light, have your light on, have a lamp maybe in front of you, have your camera propped up on your phone, you're good to go. Just set up like that. And if it's something that you really like and interests you, go for it. Buy a camera at the store that's a bit better than what you're using. When you find out, oh, this is really fun and people seem to be enjoying my content, let's improve it a little more. But yeah, as Christian said, to start off with your phone on your camera on your phone.
that's it.
Yeah. And I yet have to make, I told everybody that's watching too, I have more content coming out this year. I know I've been doing a lot of this interview show on my channel, which I'm glad you're all are enjoying, but I getting back into doing actual videos because I miss editing. I love doing like unboxing videos and showing things off. I think it's really fun, and me and my friend Vanessa have a great time doing special effects videos for you guys and showing you guys how-to videos on how to do special effects. And I have a lot of things planned out for this channel. And as I mentioned before, the reason I haven't really been posting besides the show is because I am working on a film project right now, and I also work 2 jobs. So I'm just in the I don't have a whole lot of time on my hands to do everything, but I'm doing my best, and I'm glad I'm able to get one video at least out for you guys a week, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying this little segment on the show. And Kirsten, you're awesome, dude. I've watched your channel for a long time, and as I said before, I appreciate you so much for like reaching out to me on Instagram, be like, like you're just like, hey, dude, ever need a guest? Let me know. I'd be love to. And that like really, that's awesome. Like, because I've watched your channel for so long, dude, and even though I don't comment on every single video, I watch it, I give it a thumbs up. But I thought it was cool when you reached out to me like that because the horror community from being on YouTube it's amazing. You meet so many cool people, and anyone that wants to get started, go for it. And but yeah, Kirsten, I appreciate you so much for taking the time to be on the show. It's been great talking to you, and I hope we can do it again soon.
Absolutely. Last.
Is there anything you want to say to the people watching before we close off?
Just thanks for watching, and sorry, just yeah, anybody that's anybody that I hope we can inspire. Just somebody to say, I'm gonna do this too, because that's the great thing about YouTube is the camaraderie and the friendship. So anybody that's watching this, if they've ever thought about it, go for it and reach out to me, reach out to both of us, and we'll bring you into our, it's all about making friends. It's not a competition. It's the last thing it is a competition. Don't worry about subs. Don't worry about views. It's about this, what we're doing now. YouTube has given me this, so it's a gift, and it's only a gift. So yeah, and I'll keep watching horror. Never be afraid to watch a movie that everybody says is bad, because you may love it. And that's about it.
Awesome. And guys, everybody tonight, I appreciate y'all for watching and asking some amazing questions in the chat. I appreciate you guys taking your time being on in the chat and chatting with us. It's been really fun. And any of you guys that are not yet subscribed to Christian, make sure you go check him out. All the links are down below. Make sure to go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him on his Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also buy some of his merch on his Teespring website. All the links are down in the description below, so go check him out there. And yeah, thanks again, Kirsten, for being on the show. I appreciate it. It's been really fun.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And everybody that wants to keep updated as well, follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I announce all my guests I'm getting on the show on my Instagram page, so go check me out there. And I hope I'll see you all next week. Have a great night, everybody.